So this is attempt number 3 to film this video today for you. My name's Heather. I am an author of queer, dark fantasy and paranormal. And I also on this channel go through my reading and writing journeys with you. I would love for you to come and stay or just pop in, say hi, see if this is where you want to hang out. So basically I am going to run through all the books that are on my radar, books that I would really like to get to in the month of June. As June is also Pride Month, I would like to prioritize queer books. Just because I do make an effort to read from my community. Queer. Also, one of my aims this year is also to read more diversely in terms of the authors I'm reading from. So there will also be some rollover from my May TBR because I was really ambitious with that one. Let's dive into it. So I am going to be doing 2 readathons this month. I have a month-long one and a 2-week readathon. The Queer Lit readathon is happening 2 weeks in the middle of the month, and I believe that's the 7th to the 21st. I will start. They have a bingo board and I will try and dive into those first. I have Dreadnought by April Daniels, and this is a young adult superhero novel with a transgender main character, and it is also an own voices. So basically Dani Torres has a problem. She has inherited the powers of Dreadnought, the world's greatest superhero, until Dreadnought fell out of the sky and died right in front of her. Dani's trying to keep people from finding out that she's transgender, but before he expired, Dreadnought passed on his mantle to her, and those secondhand powers transformed Dani's body into what she's always thought she should be, and now there's no hiding that she's a girl. So really looking forward to this. I have put this on so many TBRs, so please hold me accountable. If this does not turn up in my wrap up for June, you can come hit me over the head. There is a recommended, so I get recommended books all the time, so these are all mostly recommendations. I have Shorter Than a Novel, be picking up Beneath the Sugar Sky by Shauna Maguire, which is I believe it's the 3rd book in the Wayward Children series. Follows children, Eleanor West's Home for Wayward Children. Basically, this is a portal fantasy of what happens when people fall out of their fantasy worlds and back to reality. I really love this story. This is one of my favorite series. I just haven't gotten to this book. That being said, I will try and get to this one. This one follows a relative of a young girl we've met in the first book. So you don't have to read these in order, but I do recommend reading Every Heart a Doorway, which is the first one, before you go anywhere else in the series. So that's what's Shorter Than a Not Semi-Continent. I think I will try and get to, as it's also a library book, Ella's Tolly by Darcy Little Badger. I'm really sorry if I'm butchering this title, but this is a fantasy-esque book by a First Nations author, and the synopsis is: imagine an America very similar to your own. It's got homework, best friends, and pistachio ice cream. There is some differences. This America has been shaped dramatically by the magic, monsters, knowledge, and legends of its people, those indigenous and those not. Some of these forces are charmingly everyday, like the ability to make orbs of light appear or travel across the world through rings of fungi, but other forces are less charming and some never have seen the light of day. Allison lives in a slightly strange America. She can raise the ghosts of dead animals, and skill passed down to her through generations of her Lapanpachi family. Her beloved cousin has been murdered in a town that doesn't want no prying eyes, and she is going to be more than pride. Picture perfect facade of Willow Bee mask, a gruesome secret, and she will rely on her wits, skills, and friends to tear off the mask and protect her family. This is also her debut, so I really want to support this author as well. That's what I'm going to try and do. So they are some of the prompts for Queer Lit Readathon. I will dive in and let you know the other prompts for Whateverthon. I will also link that down below in the comments. So if you do happen to go down there to see all the others, please don't be shy to smash that like button and hit the subscribe buttons, because I also onto the prompts. The first one you've already seen pretty much all my selection, but I will rerun through them for you, and that is a book that reminds you of a pride flag. So I have Natasha Nyong's Girls of Paper and Fire. This is just a beautiful rainbowy colours. But it also has quite a few colours in the bisexual flag. I then also have Wilder Girls by Rory Power, which is a young adult body horror of a school that's on a little island. There's something called the Tox that breaks out and they have to go in quarantine and things just go wonky. Paper and Fire, is a Southeast Asian inspired story where every year 8 girls are selected to be the concubines to the emperor, who is a demon king, and this year a ninth girl was selected and she was made of fire. I also have, gonna let you see, Dreadnought and Beneath the Sugar Sky. So these will fit that prompt. For Whateverthon, you can also batch up to, I believe it is 3 prompts, because it's also a points-based thing. I will link the announcement video because she does a spectacular job explaining it all. A 5-star prediction, I have Wilder Girls and Beneath the Sugar Sky. A hold in the last year, I have all of these. So basically most of the books I've got on this list I also hauled within the last year. So any of them I can read. Out of my comfort zone, Mexican Gothic, We Were Villains, are sort of out of my comfort zone a bit. We Were Villains is a dark academia story that it's also by M.R. Rio, that follows, there's a murder in a group of friends that are Shakespeare students, and it follows the gentleman that was convicted of the murder and what happened then, and it goes back and forth. It's been likened to The Secret History by Donna Tartt, which I was not a fan of, so I'm hoping that I will enjoy this book. We also have Mexican Gothic, which also fulfills another prompt that we have. Another prompt, which is team colours, because green is my team colour. So Mexican Gothic is a 1950s Mexican mansion. A young girl receives a frantic letter from her newlywed cousin begging to be rescued from the mysterious doom. A bunch. And all my books are falling. So I have Dreadnought, LSD, Wilder Girls. Oh, I also have The Bone Shard Daughter by Andrea Stewart, which is a Asian-inspired fantasy of a dynasty that has ruled over the Phoenix Empire for over a century, and Lynn, who is the Emperor's daughter, is set to possibly her status as heir to the Empire. She will figure out how to wield the magic of her family, and it comes at great costs, but she will also discover, save her people and possibly reclaim the throne. Hello, gorgeous. People of colour representation. I have a great range. I have, obviously, First Nations. I have a bunch of others. I also have These Violent Delights on my list. That also has a transgender character in it if you're looking for LBGTQIA plus rep this month. And this is a fantastical story set in 1920 Shanghai as a Romeo and Juliet retelling. It is a duology, and the second one is coming out this year, and I believe it is called Our Delicious Ends or Delightful Ends. That's mental health and disability rep. I'm going to try and hopefully get to Curse So Dark and Lonely, which is a Beauty and the Beast retelling with portal fantasy elements, and Harper, who I believe is our Belle character, has cerebral palsy, so I keep picking this up, meaning to get to it. Haven't yet, so that is what I will hopefully get to. Fitting a TBR game prompt, I will just see if any of the TBR game people I follow pick a book that I want to read or can read. I will also set up a poll for a few books, so look out for that on my Instagram. The link's down below. And finally, a Buddy Read book club this month has my book club that I go to in Australia, because we also protect and use COVID safety regulations in my state. Oh, you little monster! It's going to be Ariadne, and it is a retelling of the princesses of Crete, which are the daughters of the fearsome King Midas and the Minotaur, who is their brother underneath. So I will hopefully get to that. So they are a great range of books I plan on reading for Do Whateverthon, Queer Lit Readathon, and general reading. So please let me know down in the comments down below what book you are most looking forward to reading, and what is your favourite queer book. Until later, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new, or if you enjoyed this video, because it will greatly help my channel. I put out videos twice a week, and until then, let's use our voices to promote positive change in the world. Thank you and goodbye!